I'd like to welcome you all to my speech today. Today I'm going to be talking about alternative fuels a little bit. I got some examples of alternative fuels for you, which is electricity, ethanol, hydrogen, methanol, natural gas, propane, and biodiesel. There's two of them that I'm going to be mainly talking about. But before I do that, obviously with everything that's going on with the Gulf disaster and the oil spill, and there's another oil spill I seen on the news the other day in China, so it's quite evident that we need to start looking at some different ways to get our energy and our fuel. Before I get too far into it, I want to show you a couple of slides here. I have this one right here, first one. First one I want to show you here, California Energy Commission, and this came out in 2007. They're showing that by 2012 they'll be using 9% of alternative fuels, 2017 11%, and in 2022 26%. California has higher emissions. Maybe we should have some of these over in our other states, but that's their estimates. And then just to give you a little quick here, right here, the regular gasoline and ethanol, and that's showing you the price comparison. I mean, personally, I would think that if ethanol gets into where we're using it a lot more than regular gas, then I would think that the price would actually go less than that. But ethanol being, like I said, renewable energy, and I'll talk a little bit more about ethanol on its own here in just a second. For right now. Ethanol is basically, it's an alcohol-based fuel made by fermenting and distilling starch crops like corn. It's also made from biomass. It's made from different plants and trees. The same chemical compound that's used in biomass is also the same chemical compound that's found in alcoholic beverages. Almost half of the U.S. gas now has a low blend of ethanol. If you've seen, when you go to get gas, you've seen the E85 right on the side of the pumps, and that's showing you that there's a mixture of it already in there. There's several steps that goes into making ethanol as a fuel. Biomass feedstocks, or corn, is grown and collected using various farm machines, of course. The produce is taken to ethanol production facilities, and then from those facilities it's taken to fueling stations, obviously by drivers who, of course, should be using this biodiesel. But I don't know if some of you have noticed, I think in Indiana, and there's a couple places where they have these ethanol plants going up, and more of them are starting to pop up. Biodiesel is another one, which is important. I mean, everybody knows that we get all our stuff from place to place, mainly by trucks. Trucks use diesel. They don't use gasoline. And so that's a lot of, on regular diesel, that's a lot of emissions that's coming out of these trucks, just going into the air. Not only does it, talk the whole polluting with, the environment and whatnot, but heck, this is also air we breathe, We want this air to be clean and breathable. There's a couple different biodiesels that are out there, but biodiesel is mainly made from vegetable oils and animal fat and things like that. It's all stuff it's all renewable stuff. There's pure biodiesel, which is obviously the 100% made from, either vegetable oils and animal fat and such. Then there's also a petroleum blend. And obviously the petroleum blend together, but the pure biodiesel obviously has better emissions. It doesn't put out, any of the emissions from burning fossil fuels. The two types of blends, one is a B2, and it uses 2% biodiesel and 98% diesel. The other one is B5, and it uses 5% biodiesel and 5% regular diesel. More and more people obviously are becoming aware of these and the benefits of these. And it's not just on emissions, it's on fuel costs. The more common these alternative fuels get, the less it costs for everything. And the EPA itself they issued grants to companies for the advancement of proven technology. So EPA is starting to get into these and wanting people to to really get into these cleaner energies. They issued $5.6 million in grants to companies across the country for clean diesel technologies. There's a few main reasons that we need to do this, alternative fuels. One of them is obviously we need to be more independent from foreign oils and whatnot. This is true, but crude oil, anything that comes out of the ground, this is not stuff that's renewable. This is stuff that it's got a shelf life. It's going to end somewhere. You know, we have opportunities right now to go more into these alternative fuels and using more in alternative energies with the solar power and wind power and stuff like that. You know, there's other ways of getting around all this. Boeing themselves, Boeing being the company that is a really big company that makes a lot of aircraft, planes, from jets to passenger planes, military, civilian. They have big airline manufacturing company. And right now, they're saying that by 2015, they'll be using 1% biofuel that's made from plants and algae. And it's nice to see a big company like this that's taken off in this. The big thing on that is you have to think about it. A lot of these airplanes, I mean, they burn all this fuel. They put off a lot of emissions straight into the air. There's nothing between it, just straight into the air. There really isn't much else I have on that. I hope this makes everybody more interested in some of these biofuels. I hope more people start taking interest. The more people that start taking interest, the more that we can push this stuff forward and actually get away from having to disasters, you know, possibilities, pumping oil out of the ocean. I mean, you can't even see down there. What is the point in that? That's nothing but looking for disaster. So hopefully, you know, this speech will convince some of you to start looking into it more and taking interest, and I hope you all learn something as well. Thank you very much.